3HL 104.5 The Zone, broadcasting live in Las Vegas at Radio Row, and we'll be here tomorrow too, so make sure you tune in. Thanks to our friends at Low T Center, among others. You can check out all of the information about what we're doing, 1045thezone.com. Annie Agar joins us now at the table, and what a ride for you.
It's been wild. This is my third Super Bowl now. It's crazy.
Wow.
I can't believe it.
That
All
many.
from a TikTok, you know? Who knew?
Yes.
So it
America's a great place.
I was going to say,
let me explain.
I feel like people know her, but explain.
Yeah. On your profile, it reads, I like putting teams in uncomfortable meetings.
Yes.
Okay? So, like, for people that don't know who @Annie Agar is, explain, number one, follow her. It's hilarious content.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Explain how this all happened and what you do.
It has been wild. So I did it. I started a video at 2020 when COVID was happening and sports weren't really a thing, and I worked in local news, and I think we just needed to laugh. I felt like we just needed something to laugh about, and sports was like my escape from reality. So I went on TikTok, first time on TikTok, and I did this TikTok about the Big Ten starting up football season on like a Zoom call meeting type setup. And overnight it had 3 million views. And I didn't really have a script. I just played off the stereotypes of the Big Ten. And then when it took off, I was like, okay, this is what people want right now.
Wait. 3 million
3
views.
million views.
Overnight.
It was wild. I've never experienced that
Everyone can
before.
remember, like, a lot of us had to work, like, even in radio, which was very difficult because what we do is, like, off of body language and things like that.
Right.
But everybody can relate to those Zoom things, right? Like, and how ridiculous that time was.
And I played into those stereotypes, like the mute button and all that stuff. And I didn't really think of how it would progress past that because it was so trendy to COVID. It was, the whole Zoom thing. And then I started doing other conferences, and then I was like, why don't I do a series, an NFL series, because that's my wheelhouse. And I took it off Zoom, and now I did like meetings. And I've now had this series for 3 years, and I do a weekly recap video on the NFL every week and roast the players. Yeah. They probably hate me, but it's a great time.
I was going to ask about that. Do you get feedback from players and teams? Because nobody is exempt from your Zoom meetings
Absolutely
and your meetings at all.
Yeah,
so.
and I like it. We've talked about getting brands to back the videos and stuff, but I don't want anybody to control the jokes I make and the jokes I don't make, So that way people know it's genuine, and I'm actually a fan who, was mad at this player because I lost the parlay because of
that. Own your content.
Exactly. Yeah. I will say I was in, a lot of the players usually know, and I'm nice about it, and I respect the hell out of them. So I think they know at the end of the day that the jokes I make are out of, it's roast fun. People. Yeah, it's all in jest. And so I was at a Madden, it was actually last Super Bowl, Madden Gaming Lounge. And I know it was with a brand, it was Xfinity, and I know they did this on purpose. They had Jamar Chase and Justin Fields on either side of the couch. And they brought me in a little bit late, had the guys started playing Madden and stuff, and put me right in the middle of them. And Justin, and if you guys know, I'm a Packers fan, so I roasted Justin all season long. I've made jokes about Jamar Chase. I'm sitting in between them, and Justin turns to me and goes, I know who you are. I was like, oh, yeah, well, that's not great. That is not good for me. And then they started going at it, at me, which is perfect. And I want the players to go back and do what I do to them. So it was so much fun, and they all take it really well. So that's really good to see.
That's funny. So were you doing local sports
at
a local level?
Yeah,
okay.
Yep.
So that's how it all started.
Yes.
Yeah, because during COVID, there was nothing.
It was wild.
In the beginning, nothing.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
the
were
first time
finding something to do.
Right. And you always think, well, there's always going to be a sports cover, especially we covered local, like high school level, and a lot of a little bit of the Michigan State stuff. Because I'm from Grand Rapids in Michigan, and it was the first time I'd ever experienced no sport. It was the first time we'd experienced a lot of that, but nothing going on was a very kind of eerie feeling because there was nothing to even turn on at night. It was it was really bizarre.
We were watching Korean baseball.
Right.
Yes.
It was wild.
Yeah.
It was bizarre. So I think that was just the right time to bring people back to sports and remind them it's
Well,
it's
it worked well.
It sure
Thank
did.
you.
Worked out okay
that.
3 years later,
Yeah.
right?
Appreciate it.
So, go ahead.
Now, you had a lot of people piggyback off of you, doing all kind of skits and things of that nature. You talked about companies trying to partner with you.
Yeah.
Have you had comedians and things reach out to you to want to be a part of this frenzy that you have going on?
That's a good question. Not really comedians too much. I did the first couple of things I did was Sunday NFL Countdown. So it was like Dan Orlovsky, Marcus Spears, and they were funny because then it kind of loosened them up a little bit, and I had them join the meeting and edit it together. That was pretty cool. But I think with comedians, and I've thought about doing a podcast with another comedian, but I think the videos do pretty well because I don't pitch it as a comedy thing.
Right.
So then when I make jokes, you're like, oh wait, this is supposed to be funny, but I don't want to play into that because I don't want people to expect it. So That's a good question though. I don't. Yeah,
it's a different.
Might have to bring a comedian into
it's a
it.
different role.
People have asked if I would do stand up. I don't know if I could do that. That's a whole other level.
Annie
but I'm
Agar
open to it. I'm open
with
to
us
it.
on 3HL at Annie Agar. Must follow on Twitter. So these clips, like the weekly deal, how many? Like, there's so many edit points. Like, how long does it take you to do that?
That's a really good question. It takes a long time, and I don't think people realize it because I don't have anybody else do it. I probably have a control problem, but I don't like anybody else doing it. Yeah, right?
We don't deal with that over here.
Our teammate does it.
Yeah, I do. So I write it myself. So I'll research for like 7-8 hours on Monday morning. And then I'll shoot my video for 3 or 4 hours, hopefully get it done by Monday Night Football, watch the game, re-tape stuff from the game, or usually I'll come up with an ending from the Monday Night Football game, and then I save all the video, and then I wake up at 3 a.m. to start editing it and hopefully get it out by noon because the editing process is so extreme. It's so extreme. But I probably could make it a lot less work for myself, but it's my product at the end of the day, and I love that fans love it. Yes, and I want fans to like it the way that they do. So
you've had plenty of material with the Titans.
Oh my gosh, a lot. The whole Vrabel thing, especially. That was a good one. I'm amazed that he's still floating out there. Like, it's incredible.
Hadn't got a job. He probably should be sitting on the same side of the table as us. Maybe a little bit of a control freak.
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point. That is a very good point. And people were talking about Arthur Smith, that hire, and but he helped you guys out. So the Titans. That was he actually produced well there. I will make fun of him for that. Yeah. But I am glad he's back
as an OC.
I know. He made Tannehill actually look good. So.
Yeah.
Boom.
So there you go. You get a little taste of it right there. So the wardrobe changes too. I mean, it's, and it started where you just printed out a logo and pop it on the shirt. Yep. That kind of adds to the, I think, genuineness of it. You know what I mean?
And I held out so teams started getting smart and they would send me jerseys and because they wanted their team to be well represented in the the video. And there were a couple teams I was holding out on. Jets were one of them because there was something about a taped down logo falling off the shirt that just made sense for the Jets.
That just screamed.
There was just certain teams I couldn't be professional with.
I love it.
That's best. I'd love to know, man, how people have teams asked you to come in because I love your SEC skits. And, an icebreaker for freshmen coming in for orientation. Have schools asked you to come in and do, things?
No. You're full of the great questions today.
You need to hire him.
Honestly,
your agent,
where's my agent? I'm going to fire her and bring you on. No, that's a great idea, though. No, and I think I'll still do a couple of the college videos, and I think I'll do them now more this season because there's so much change going on. It's going to be a mess. Washington and UCLA is going to be a disaster in the Big Ten. I think eventually it's going to be just 2 mega conferences, which is not going to be great for college football. But I will be there with a meeting ready.
Love it.
So where there's loss, I will be there to make jokes about it.
I mean, that's definitely true. I mean, you got the SEC and the Big Ten meeting. You got ACC. What are we doing over here?
Yeah, exactly. Those are fun ones. Those are fun.
And then Pac-12 just died. So.
Yeah.
Won't have to worry about that.
That's one less shirt to worry about. Yeah.
Can you do a death scene for the Pac-12?
Right.
I should. That'd be great.
You don't even.
You guys are full of content.
Print that logo. You're good. Yeah. No doubt.
That's good. That lets you know we're feeding off of it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
You immediately start thinking ideas like, oh, I can't wait till she does this.
I love it. I love it.
At Annie Agar on Twitter. Annie, thank you for the time.
Of course. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Let us know if you're ever in Nashville.
Absolutely. Oh, I love Nashville. I'll be there. I got the boots on today, too.
Hey.
Yeah, you do. Cowboy boots.
Yeah.
Dawn has a $1,000 pair of cowboy boots.
Oh, my
She's worn them one time.
They're awesome. Twice.
Technically, they're $500 then.
That's right.
Girl math.
It's like the derby hat. Same thing. Yeah.
Same thing. $1,000 derby hat. She's worn it now twice.
Yeah. You wear it three or four more times, it's totally worth it.
It's paid for.
Totally worth it.
Thank you, Annie.
Of course. Thank you,
All
guys.
right, more 3HL next on 104.5 The Zone.